What's going on, everybody? Happy Thursday. Hope everybody out there in the Service Alliance community is doing good this morning. As always, I got my sister, Miss Ward, in the house. How you doing, Miss Ward?
I'm coaching myself right now. That's how I'm doing.
There we
Time
go.
management.
Yeah, Miss Ward is multitasking this morning. We got a good subject for you guys, something that absolutely everyone is going to relate to, hopefully take something away from, get something good from. And honestly something that we all struggle with. If you're honest, the topic this week is money, and we're going to be talking about money management personally, professionally. um and if we all keep it real and we're all honest with each other, it's a hard thing to do, and it's easy to let it slip and not be diligent about how you manage your money. And I have struggled with it over the years on a personal level and as a business owner. So I'm pretty excited. I'm excited to talk about it. I'm excited to share it. I had a few people checking in. We got our brother Kurt checking in. He said, "What say you, beautiful people?" We're doing good, brother. We're doing
What's
good.
up,
Good to see you. I love Kurt's. I love, what is that on his shoulder? A duck. Okay. Happy Friday Eve to you, Kurt. Thank you for joining us. I got your six appliance repair is in the house. Brother Jeremy, good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. I saw that truck tour. If you guys didn't see Jeremy's I got your six truck tour on the Alliance, go check it out. I haven't been on Facebook. I erased Facebook off my phone so that I don't waste time just looking. So now the only time I can see stuff is when I get on my computer. But I was just flipping through after I did some admin stuff this morning in the group. I was just flipping through. I saw that video. So thank you for posting that. And you other guys out there, guys and gals, y'all post your videos, post some stuff onto the Alliance group so we can all learn from each other. Whether it's a tool bag tour or a tip or a truck tour, we love that stuff. Got brother Adam checking in. Nice to see you, sir. Always a pleasure. Well, Miss Ward, we're gonna get cranked up, but I'm gonna pray this thing up since you're driving. And then I got a quick scripture to share, and then we're gonna get into this. So we'll go ahead and pray. You're omitted from closing your eyes because you're driving, and I don't close my eyes when I pray. A lot of people probably notice that, but I keep my eyes open when I pray. And no reason. It's no religious thing. It's just I don't, something I do. So let's go to the Lord in prayer and then get into this. Get into this topic. Lord, we thank you, Lord. We ask that you bless this time. Thank you for the community that you've allowed us to be a part of. Thank you for the folks that tune in every morning. And Lord, thank you for the ones that don't. Thank you for the ones that, have to go out there first thing in the morning and don't have time to join us. Bless them. Watch over them. Bless their businesses. Help us to take the money that you give us, whether it's professionally or personally, and be good stewards of it. Be good users of that money. Help us to use it wisely. Help us to use it the way you would want us to use it, and help us to use it not only for our own personal gain, but to help others and bless others. And forgive us for when we make mistakes. And thank you for your grace and your mercy in those areas, Lord, because we need it every day. We thank you for the opportunity to be here. We thank you for all the families and businesses represented. I can't talk this morning. And just bless the rest of this day. In Jesus' name, amen. So the same verse always comes to my mind. There's a lot of good verses on money. The Bible talks a lot about money. The Bible is really a great book to get financial advice from, but you have to take it and use it and apply it. Because because at the end of the day, God is not anti-money. And I'm going to read a verse, one of the most misquoted scriptures in the Bible. It comes from the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6. You've all probably read it before. It says, "For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. And some people craving money have wandered from the true faith and pierced themselves with many sorrows." Now that verse gets misquoted and people say, well, money is the root of all evil. No, not true. Money is not evil. Money is not bad. Money is not you don't have to be poor to be a believer in Jesus. If anybody tells you that, they're wrong. You don't have to swear to be a poor person and not have anything to be a follower of Christ or a believer in God. But you do have to try to be a good steward of the money that God gives you. Or it's important to be, I should say. And the thing that we have to realize when it comes about money and what Paul is warning Timothy in this passage is to not get drawn into the love and greed of money. I always try to check myself and ask myself, why do I want more money? What am I going to do? You know, I love having the conversations about the what if you won the lottery. You know, it's fun. It's fun to dream about what you would do if you were a billionaire or a multi-millionaire. But at the same time, if you're not doing anything with the money that you have now, anything good to help people and bless people and things of that nature, you won't do it if you have a lot. Because what you do with the little bit you have, God sees. And there's countless examples of that in the Bible. The woman that gave her last few pennies, and Jesus said, "This woman's given more than anybody." So it's that love of money that's evil. It's that greed. And it's very easy to get wrapped up into. And I encourage each of you to go back and read 1 Timothy. Read the whole book of Timothy, every chapter. Because it's a good book. You know, Paul is taking this young man of God, Timothy, who he's training up and discipling and giving them and giving them gems and teaching them how to be a man of God and giving them a lot of good instruction. But that whole chapter right there is really good. So if you've never read it, if you've only read that one verse, you got to be real careful. I will say this, you got to be real careful about just going in and reading a verse and then just taking it and run with it. I'm real big on reading anything you read, but especially the Bible in context, because you can get all sorts of crazy ideas if you just read one verse and run with it. So read that chapter if you get a chance this morning. But we're going to talk about money. That's the topic this week. Got another, I don't know that I've ever seen this name pop up before. Benjamin, my mouse is not allowing me to, there we go. Benjamin Goldsboro. Thank you for joining us, sir. Good morning. I hope you're having a great Thursday. Thank you for joining us today on the grind. But money management, that's what we're talking about. What are you doing with your money? What are you doing with your money on a personal level? What are you doing with your money on a professional level? I hit up Miss Ward yesterday and I was like, what should we talk about? The overall theme is money. What should we talk about? When she threw this out, I mean, I was like, this is right on time. Because as I was saying in the pre-roll with Miss Ward, I can probably share more mistakes with you guys than I can successes, but I do have some successes. And one of the biggest successes that I'm gonna hand it over to you, Miss Ward, after this. But one of the biggest things that I can say that I've learned in the past 30 plus years of being on this earth is that when God gives you something, whether it's finances, whether it's assets, whether it's whatever it is, you have to take it seriously and realize that that is something that you need to be a good steward of. And it's not just money, it's everything. And I have struggled with it. I have had massive failures and huge victories as well. And the more that I have learned about managing money, the more I have found out that if you rely on anyone but yourself to make sure that everything's done properly, you're going to fall into some issues, especially as your business grows. That's one thing I learned. I learned a very big lesson just recently about finances because I had delegated something to someone and they did an absolute horrible job with it. And it ended up costing me thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in back taxes. And it was embarrassing for me. But as always, I keep it real with y'all. So whether it's your bookkeeper, your accountant, your whoever's doing your receivables, whatever, it's your job as the owner to make sure the stuff's getting done right. Because it's easy to delegate and then take your hands off the things. But when it comes to that money, or as Miss Ward always says, when it comes to that bag, you better make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's and do your follow-ups on where your money's going and also who owes you money. Do you have a process for getting your receivables taken care of? Because those invoices aren't going to pay themselves. A lot of those property managers and warranty companies and all those people, they love to short you. They love to send you a check and just hope that you miss that they owed more or whatever. And if your procedures aren't in check, guess what? You're not going to catch it. And it's super easy to do with warranty because the checks start rolling in and you're getting that mailbox money and you're all excited. And then guess what? You're not dotting your I's and crossing your T's and doing your receivables right. And next thing you know, you realize, hold on, they still owe me a lot of money. How many of us are owed money by Choice Warranty? I ran 2 jobs for them. So they owe me for 2 jobs and then I cut them off. Shout out to the worst warranty company on the face of the earth, Choice Warranty. All right, Miss Ward, let me stop. I'm going to get in trouble.
No, man, it's too late. You already in trouble, but I got your back. All right, so look, the reality is it goes back to the psychology of money, and I advise everybody to read the book, The Psychology of Money, because those of us who grew up with absolutely nothing, that heard all that stuff about money don't grow on trees and all this other stuff, and you got some people, like I look at my family. It's so funny because I got 2 sisters, actually. I'm the only one that don't squeak when I walk. You feel me? And I have one sister from the time she was a baby. She was picking up pennies and, she was saving. Like my sister's has worked 2 jobs as a W-2 and she paid her house off. You feel me? And she's just, single mom, blah, blah, blah. She's been on top of her money from day one, Then you got me. I'm a different breed because I've always been able to get out and go get it. So I've always had money. I've had more than enough for myself, but I realized that it wasn't even for me. It was really for the things that, and the people around me, the things that God wanted me to do for other people. So I've always been I've been like a conduit. So I'm saying all this to say is when you get into business, however you are personally, you got to watch it in business because all it's going to do is amplify your inability to manage your finances in your personal life. So prime example, just like TK said about the mistakes. We all made it. You get into appliance repair, the money's coming in, you're doing COD, you're doing warranty, money coming everywhere. You don't have your bills in line, you don't have your parts house bills, you don't have your gas bills, you don't have your vehicle bills. You got to figure out when to pay yourself, how to pay yourself. You're taking money right out the business because you don't know no better. And that's okay in the beginning, but it's not okay um, as time goes on because you're gonna end up with an IRS situation. There's so many things we find ourselves in. So the first thing I want you to do is forgive yourself. It's just like lottery winners and people that join the NFL, they get the first check and they go blow it. Who don't do that? So anybody out here saying they didn't, God bless them. Because you got more discipline than me and 99% of the world. But the reality is, it's once then got your full and you realize you got to do some adulting. Like I said in my video the other day, life don't keep lifing. All you have to do is, it's not rocket science. You got to slow down. You got to read books like Profit First. Understand where to put your money. And if that's too complicated for you, don't do credit. Pay everything cash. You feel me? Pay your parts cash. Pay this cash, until you can manage. Because a lot of people I know do that because their credit's jacked up. This is the only thing they can do. And some people pay their credit down and then they get scared. They don't want to get back in debt. Like at the end of the day, the psychology of money is the key. Money is currency in my mindset, and it should always be flowing and growing. And if you hold it too tight, it's not going to grow. So when it comes to your business, you got people that want to expand, they want employees, they want subcontractors. But how are you going to pay these people if you can't manage the money? You got to learn how to manage the money. So I'm a big proponent of Profit First. For a lot of people, it's a little too complicated. But at the end of the day, we all got bills. I remember when I first got out on my own and I was in college, man, I had a chart on the wall. All my bills was paid before time. I was on top of it because I was a newbie. As an adult, I'm forgetting bills left and right sometimes. So at the end of the day, you just got to discipline yourself, understand what it is. I got friends right now that in the appliance repair business, they done paid their mortgages up for years. I got one of my guys at the round table. He done paid all his stuff, car notes, everything up so far that he's taking a vacation every month. I'm trying to be like that guy. You feel me? And so that goes back to that support system and that round table I preach every day. If you don't know what you're doing and you're struggling, team up with somebody. Get some humility because there's no embarrassment in growth. You follow me? And learn how, because guess what? The problem ain't going away. It all starts here in your head. And, those of us who grow up with nothing, and you got this thing about scarcity, a lot of people spend everything when they get it because they scared they ain't going to have another opportunity because they grew up without stuff. Like, it's a mindset. So money is a mindset, how you manage it, how you handle it. And then you got the self-sabotage crew. Let's talk about those people who in the back of their mind, they scared of success. So anytime they can mess up some money, they messing it up. They know, like, I remember when I used to first start getting big, what I consider big money. And I would be sweating every time I saw that money coming because I was like, am I going to handle this right? I got to do this, and this. And I'm scared. And you know what I mean? Because I was intimidated. Now, man, somebody please drop me $10 million. I'm going to show you how to do it. I already got it planned out. But at the end of the day, you cannot be afraid of your blessing. And you got to understand when you're managing money in your business, you got to take care of your parts. You got to take care of your staff. You got to take care of your vehicles. Like with me, I'm one of those people, I pay up the insurance on my vehicle. I make sure I'm spending, like, because I travel so much, I know I spend at least 10 G's on my vehicle a year. Simply because I'm putting 80,000 miles on, and like I put 80,000 miles on my vehicle in like 6 months, which is insane. But I've been blessed to be able to bankroll that, and it pays for itself.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think we talked a little bit about the personal side of things. Buenos dias, hermano. ¿Cómo está? Dios te bendiga. Saul Flores checking in. Mi hermano. Yeah, I got 203 days on Duolingo, bro. I'm pretty much fluent at this point. So just kidding. I'm not fluent. We went out for Mexican last night, me and my daughter. And it's funny because I've been studying Spanish for a long time. And it's always little words that I can't just don't know how to say or use. But one thing, we got a Shay Star checking in. That's a new name. I don't believe I've seen that one before. Thank you for checking in, Shay. Your personal finances. I'm a big proponent of this, and I tell people this when I start talking to them. I got guys and gals reaching out to me all the time. Oh, I want to start a business, or I want to start growing my business and hiring techs. If you do not have your personal finances in order, if you do not have your personal budget set up, a budget for your family, a budget for what your expenses are, a budget for miscellaneous. I have a list of things that I try to go over at least 2 to 3 times a year with my wife. I should do it more, to be honest, and let your spouse be a part of it. Your significant other, whether it's your husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, they're a part of it too when it comes to those personal finances. And it needs to be a team effort. And a lot of times there's one person that's better with the finances than the other. And don't be ashamed to say, hey, baby, you know what? You're much better with this than I am. Just like you would in your business. Zach says it all the time. Aces in their places. It's true in marriage and in relationships too. We're being honest here. I am not the greatest person with money. My wife is much better at it than I am. And she keeps the checkbooks over here for the business, for things that come in that need to get paid. And she runs things by me for the business. And then we also budget for our personal finances. And when you start a business and you start growing, it's very easy to get so caught up in the business that you neglect your personal stuff. Number one, and listen to me, you got to pay yourself. You have to pay yourself. I am an employee of Richmond Appliance Guys. I'm the owner. I'm one of the owners of Richmond Appliance Guys, but I'm also an employee. I am a W-2 employee of Richmond Appliance Guys. Now I'm also receiving owner draws because I'm an S corporation. Now you need to talk to your accountant, and see if you're making enough money to file for an S corp. You can be an LLC and still file your taxes as an S corp. Talk to your accountant. Talk to your attorney that set up your business. Hopefully you have an attorney. And if you're at the stage where you're making enough money, file as an S corp, because there's a lot of tax benefits in filing as an S corp. Your owner draws, your quarterly owner draws, have much lower tax rate than your paycheck will. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, some quarters there ain't gonna be no owner's draw. So you need to plan for that too. Because just like Ms. Ward says, stuff comes up. Vehicle maintenance, repairs. I done put transmissions in about 3 or 4, at least, no, excuse me. I put transmissions in at least 2 vehicles this year. So at the end of the day, don't bank on those owner draws, but figure out how to pay yourself properly. Make yourself an employee of your company. As we said in the beginning, that money that your business is making, it's not your money yet. You have to figure out how to reinvest into your business to grow it. And I love the way Miss Ward is doing that, because that's something that I've struggled with. Because in appliance repair, it's easy to get lackadaisical and say, well, what else am I going to buy? What else am I going to invest in? There's always more things you can do to grow it. But you have to have a budget for that. You have to have a budget for the extras and the things. And you also have to have a priority list of what has to get paid every single month. Because if you don't do that, it's going to slowly accumulate. And next thing you know, either that IRS or that supply house or that credit card company or whoever you owe that money to is going to come knocking. And when they come knocking, they ain't going to stop. So be smart with your money, people. Learn from my mistakes, because I have made so many. You know, I think about all the stupid money I've spent over the years, and I think about all the financial mistakes I've made. When I was in full-time ministry, it was funny because I grew up extremely fortunate. We never struggled for much. You know, I lived with my mom, but my dad made good money and he paid child support. And he took good care of us, and extremely fortunate. And it wasn't until I was actually in full-time ministry that I had a little taste of what it's like to not have. And I wasn't broke. I pretty much was broke. And then when I got out of the ministry, I'll be crystal clear with you guys. I ran up some credit card debt, and it was a horrible. I know that other people are going to disagree, and Miss Ward might be one of them. I absolutely hate credit cards. I hate them. I don't like them. I don't like debt, period. I am one of those people. I have zero credit limits with any supply houses. If I can't pay for that part, I don't want that part. I pay as I go. That's just me. And I'm not saying that's everybody's style, but I know me, and I know the type of person that I am. All of my supply houses, I have my card on file, my debit card, and when I pay for my parts, they're paid for. I don't have to worry about owing nobody money. And that's just a personal thing. I'm not saying that's the way to do it. That's how I do it. But you have to ask yourself, how am I with my finances? Am I the type of person that's going to stay on top of these different things and pay them off each month and make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do? If the answer is no, pay as you go. That rhymed too. I want to get some extra points because that rhymed.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, I follow Dave Ramsey, EntreLeadership. I definitely advise everybody to watch him. You know, and at the end of the day, you got to do what works for you. But I think the thing in appliance repair, especially these one-man shops, you got to learn how to pay yourself. A lot of people are intimidated with that. You know, a lot of people think they running from the government and running from the IRS, and I ain't going to get into the straw man and all that other drama. But the reality is, if you want things in life, you got to have a W-2. It's the American way. I mean, you can be creative, finance a house, creative, finance this, put it in the company name, but do you really know what you're doing? Are you even making enough money to think like that? But that's a whole nother conversation, because it kills me when I see people, oh, I'm going to have a holding company, and then underneath the company, I'm going to put this and that. They have no idea. You're doing all this elaborate stuff, and you can't keep more than $1,000 in your savings. You know, the reality is be honest with yourself, put the things in place to protect yourself. You know, you want to go get, I'm telling you, I'm not going to go into it, but I'm trying to tell you, if you go to ADP, a lot of people don't like ADP because they say they're expensive. But the beautiful thing about ADP, if you had a job before, they already got your info. They're going to make sure the FICA and your Social Security, you know, all that stuff is taken care of. And, you know, you don't have to start big. You can start small. But get some structure in place. Stop being intimidated by the technology that's at the tip of your fingertips. You don't want to do ADP. You can always do Paycor. You can always do Gusto. But you need to start at least making sure you get a paycheck, because it will catch up with you. You do not understand this digital money game that the government and the world is playing. You are not hiding from anybody. Trust me, I know. Cash App, all that. And let's not even talk about your subcontractors. You're paying them through Venmo and all this other stuff. You better believe everything is tracked. So be a big girl and a big boy and get your life in order. Get ready before they show up. I'm telling you what I know. And then let's not even talk about these people that's not even doing their taxes. And I'm not knocking nobody. I can have this conversation because I ran a couple of my businesses a couple of years without doing them, you know, because I knew that I had a grace period of 2 to 3 years. I live in Florida, man. This is like one of the best places to have a business.
Absolutely. Oh, we flipped. What happened? But yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with you, Miss Ward. And I'll say this. I know we're running over 8:30, but Miss Ward's still driving, so I'm gonna keep going. If you are a business owner and you have not gotten a accountant / bookkeeper or bookkeeper, get yourself a good bookkeeper. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again because I learned the hard way. Do not trust your bookkeeper out the gate. Do not just hand over your books to some person that was referred to you by Jimmy John down the street and whoa, it's just me now, and expect for them to do everything the way you want it done and do everything properly. Ask me how I know. Ask me why I'm saying this, because I did it and I took my hands off of it and expected this company to take care of it, and they failed miserably. And I ended up owing a lot of money, and it sucked. So if you don't have a good bookkeeper, find one. But don't just jump at the first person. Don't just trust anybody. Hire a professional. Your buddy's wife that does his books, his company's books, isn't a professional. Your person in your Facebook group that said, "Oh yeah, I'm a bookkeeper," isn't a professional. Having a good bookkeeper is so important as a business owner. And when you have that bookkeeper, have monthly and quarterly meetings with that bookkeeper to go over your profit and loss statements, to go over the finances of your business, to talk about how things are going, so that you can sit there and look and see on paper from your P&Ls what's going on in your business. Your profit and loss statements are a story of how your business is doing, what your profits are, what your losses are, what you're spending, what you're bringing in, how much you should have. Because a lot of times you'll look at that profit and loss statement and say, man, this thing says I should have $60,000 in the bank. Where is it? And then you got to start asking some questions, some hard questions. What are you spending money on? You shouldn't be. Where can you cut? My goal as a business owner is to run the leanest, most efficient business I can. We just moved to this new office warehouse space. I actually just rented another warehouse space directly behind our current office warehouse space, but I haven't gotten settled yet. And I have all these parts and boxes that I need to get out. Thousands and tens of thousands of dollars worth of parts that I need to get out and organize so that we can stop buying certain parts and use the ones we have. And it drives me crazy to know that they're sitting there. And we actually have it on the schedule next week to get into that. Dr. Dan checking in, my brother from another mother. Well, I don't have calls today until 11 o'clock. I do have a meeting later, but that's not until, actually, is it today? No, never mind. My meeting's tomorrow. I think. Let me double check that. Yeah, my meeting's tomorrow. It got rescheduled. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Miss Ward dropped off, so hopefully she's okay. She was doing her thing this morning, but for a quick minute, I'm going to stop that topic. If you have any money questions, I am not the expert. I'm not saying I'm a bookkeeper. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a financial person, expert of any sort. So if you have questions about those things, find people that are experts. When I struggle with a certain area in business or in life, I find other people that are doing it better than me, and I surround myself with those people and ask those people questions. But if you want to know all the mistakes to stay away from, I can tell you a lot of them. And one of the biggest ones is finding a good bookkeeper. But anyway, the One Day Business Conference is coming up December 2nd in the great city of Richmond, Virginia. We're going to be meeting up here in my hometown. I'm going to be there Mike, Zach, EJ, the whole Alliance crew will be there. Hopefully you will be there. But if you're not on the East Coast and you're not close enough, don't worry, because we're doing more of these. This is the first one, and if 5 people show up, I'm gonna be happy. If 50 people show up, I'm gonna be happy. I'm gonna need to rent more space if 50 people show up, but we just want to get this thing going, and it is going to be an interactive workshop. It is going to be a hands-on group discussion style workshop where we're going to be going through some different topics and talking about a lot of different things, from networking to technology to warranty versus COD. We got her back.
Yeah, man. It was a setup for a come up. Hey, look, I was talking about too much. I was like, oh, that's the sign. So I'm finna zip it up, y'all. But y'all know, y'all get the gist. Because you know Miss Lloyd, she just let it rip.
Oh,
I have to remember what channel I'm on sometimes, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I've had to censor myself quite a bit, because anybody that knows my old videos when it was just me riding around in my van, I didn't care. I'll say anything, cussing, fussing, calling out anybody. So I think I think there's some pros and cons to it. Got Dr. Dan again. Wish I could be there, but Santa has to work that day. Can't say no to the kid. Oh, okay. Does that mean you actually play Santa during December? Because that's awesome. Good for you, brother. But yeah, I was talking about the conference in December. Just letting everybody know. If you haven't signed up, sign up. It's not going to be one of those sit there and listen to boring lectures for hours and hours on end. This is going to be business owners getting together and talking and sharing and roundtable discussion. There's going to be some PowerPoints. We're going to put some slides together and put some different talking points together. But from my experience going to different types of things like this over the years, when you're just sitting there for an hour to an hour and a half listening to some dude blab on about whatever his topic is, that shit gets boring quick. Last year at ASTE, I went to Doug's class on team culture, company culture, and it was my absolute favorite class of the event. Because Doug shared for a bit. He talked about team culture and gave some really good points. And then he broke us up into groups, and we got together in little groups, complete strangers. He made sure that you didn't get in a group with any of your buddies. And we sat there, and he led us in these group discussions. And it was amazing. I took so much from it, and I connected with these other business owners I'd never met. And I was like, man, this is how every class should be. Because let's be honest, man, we've all been to conferences or conventions and sat through classes, and you're just like, please stop. Like I'll straight up get up and walk out. Like if it's boring and I'm not getting any nuggets from it, hey, if the bar's open, I'm out. So that's just me though. And I don't want our conference to be like that. I want our conference to be something that everybody's involved in. Everybody, whether you're a brand new business owner that has questions, or you're a longtime veteran that can share in the discussion, we want to talk to you. We want to rub shoulders with you. And we're hosting it here in Richmond. It's literally less than a mile away from the airport, so you can fly in, catch a shuttle over or an Uber or whatever. Stay at the same hotel that we're going to be at. Me and the whole gang staying there. Hopefully Miss Ward will make it. I keep nudging at her, so we'll see. But I'm
hey, I'm gonna interrupt you because I never commit to stuff because of my schedule. But I already got my ticket, my flight, and my hotel. I'm gonna be there. So anybody want to meet Miss Ward, the mystery woman, I'm actually gonna be there, God willing. because there's a lot of
Hey,
things I don't commit to because my life is different. But this one, I'm 100% behind you guys. I want to be there for the inaugural situation because I understand where you're going. I understand the mission, and I stand behind it. So
amen.
when I
Well,
show
we
up,
appreciate
it's a
that.
real sign off. You know?
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate that, Miss Ward, and as always, we appreciate your support. You've been a day one, and and the feeling's mutual. We love what you do, and you know what? A lot of people, we talk about this a lot. Me and Miss Ward do the same thing. The Alliance Group and Solid Steps to Wealth do the same thing, but we're not competitors. We're collaborators. We collaborate. And that's what winners do. That's what successful people do. They collaborate. And that's what we're all about here. I don't view Miss Ward as competition. She's my friend. She's a mentor of mine. She's someone that I respect, and we always have each other's back. So if you haven't subscribed, as I go into this shameless plug, go over and subscribe to Solid Steps to Wealth. Miss Ward is a plethora of knowledge. She's going to drop those gems. She's going to give it to you raw and uncut. She's not going to care about your feelings. She's going to tell you how it is. And if you have time on December 2nd, hey, fly in on Friday. We'll be there Friday all day, getting prepared and all that. I'll be there all day Saturday and into Sunday. So if you want to hang out afterwards, feel free. But it's going to be a great time, and I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, if it's just the four of us and Miss Ward, I'm okay with it because I'm going to learn something, and we're going to have a good time, and we're going to make the best of it. But with that being said, I want you guys to be there. So if you're able to make it, please come. Go over to the servicealliancegroup.com and register. All access members get a special discount for this. So if you're an all access member, I think you get like it's like $50 off or it's not an expensive event. I think it's only $100 or $125 or something. Forgive me. Mike Carson is the details guy. I just hop on the grind. Mike Carson and Zach are the ones that make everything happen. I just get on here and smile and talk to Miss Ward. So
yeah, we should show up. We just show up.
Ward, you got any closing statements?
Nah, man. I just want everybody to be blessed, be patient with yourself, and realize we got 2 months left in the year. We need to get it together. We need to build the momentum to run into 2024 like no other. That's all I got.
Amen. Well, thank you again, Miss Ward. Thank you, Service Alliance community, for joining us this morning. Shout out to all the solid steppers that joined us this morning. Go over to servicealliancegroup.com, sign up, get signed up for the conference, get that all access membership so you can get your discount. And if you are a tech support or a tech manual subscriber, be on the lookout for an email because we're dropping a tech support upgrade to all access that you don't want to miss. It is definitely going to be worth it for you. So Miss Ward and TK signing out, and we will catch you guys next week. Peace.